Okay, it's early in the morning. It's dark out. I got my light set up here. I think the lighting is pretty good. Today I'm going to go through the John Bauer. I heard about this deck from Truth and Story. There's Kelly. Her name is Kelly. She has this website, Truth and Story, which is amazing. She's a guru of card reading, every kind of card reading, and she does give classes. And there is a link to her website on this channel. Anyway, she was reading Aesop's fables, and then pulling some cards out of this deck to kind of give the lesson of the fable. It was really interesting. One of the things I've been doing with tarot is before I started reading for people. I just started really not long ago, and I've been using it as storyboards. And I think this deck, I've used the Fountain Tarot and the Marseille for that. And but after seeing her and what she does with her Aesop fable readings, I thought maybe this would be a really good deck to use for storytelling. So what I want to do today is go through the deck. I'll walk through the deck with my commentary. Worth the price of admission, which is $0. And show you show me as well. Oh, I think I did look at it, but it's been a while. Show you the images, and then I'm going to do a short reading about storyboarding, how I do storyboarding. That's storyboarding, not waterboarding. Storyboarding. Okay, so let's go through the deck itself. Just the pictures. The Fool. The High Priestess. No, the Magician. Now, see, I think what's going to be good for storytelling is, there is a book to use, but there's also, imagery that could be really interesting, and just interpreting the imagery however you choose. So this is the Magician. This is all from the art of John Bauer. He was a painter at the turn of the century. So it's essentially an art deck. The High Priestess. It could be read. You have the columns here, the water. There's no moon, but there's sort of moonlight reflecting off the lake. The Empress. The Emperor. That's pretty funny. Very square, it's manly. Hubba hubba. The Hierophant. Again, it's pretty cool. It's got these two kids, and then there's something here, like an older man of some kind, an older ogre of some kind, who is looking at them, and it sort of has a pleasant face on. The Lover's card. As you see, they don't have the names on them, so you sort of you don't really have to know what they are if you're just reading intuitively. Strength. No, wait a minute. Stop. 7. The Chariot. That is good. So there's always little things you can pick up on, and that's why I want to try it for storyboarding. Here we got Strength. The Hermit. Wait a minute. Ten is the Wheel of Fortune, and there's the wheel there. See, there's slight references. When I first looked at that, I said, oh, no, that's the Hermit. What's this? But it's 10, and the Hermit's 9. Oh, I'm confused. But then I see the circle of the Wheel of Life. And actually, there are all these bodies around here. But I think they're actually just little people. They're not bodies, they're little people. 11 is Justice. 7 No. This is yeah, 11. 12. 12 is, well, oh, this is the hangman. Sort of a woman hanging with her hair down there. This is the hangman, 12. 13 is death. Again, these are very different images, but they're kind of refreshing, you know. I mean, you could see this as death, transformation. Temperance. There's water. 15 is the devil. He's in the grips of something here. I'm hoping I get these numbers right. 15 is the devil. 16 is the tower, I believe. There's the lightning. So there's hints of the major arcana in this. Starry nights. The moon. You know, I mean, this is awesome. And the world. Which brings us, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. This is the moon. This must be judgment. And here's the world. Is this sky the same as this sky? Oh no, it's different. This is from a painting. Obviously it's from a painting, but I thought this was from an older painting, much older painting. Apparently he used old paintings to do his paintings. Wait a minute. Oh, this is the sun. Sorry, sun. Judgment. That's very readable. And the world. How charming is that? So then we have our minor arcanas. These are, you see the suits down here and the numbers on top. This is the cups. The 1 of cups. The 2 of cups. The 3 of cups. There's 2 ogres and a nice young maiden. 4 of cups. That's very similar to Rider-Waite, isn't it? Sort of disappointment. 5 of cups. 6 of cups. 7 of cups. 8 of cups. Disappointment. 9 of cups. Oh, he's a happy guy. 10 of cups. This must be the Page of Cups. I think that's what that notice means. This must be the Knight of Cups. He's on a horse. The Queen of Cups. And the King of Cups. The 1 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles, very appropriate. The 5 of Pentacles, again, very Rider-Waite. The 6 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles, again, very Rider-Waite. But there's a lot of other things you can draw from it as far as storytelling. The 9 of Pentacles. That's very similar with the bird and the lady. And the 10 of Pentacles. One big happy ogre family. What's not to love? So this is the Page of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. and the King of Pentacles. There is a book to this deck, so maybe we'll read one of these. This is the One of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Wands. Let's read the Eight of Wands. Uh-oh, it's in Spanish. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, it's Italian. Okay, the book's not that much. It's a small book. Wands. Eight of Wands. Let's read the Eight of Wands. These people stand on a large figure swimming through the clouds. The force of the emerging person sends winds bending the trees on the ground to their limits. So the force of him in the clouds brings these winds below, which is, change, which is what the Eight of Wands is. Meanings: manifesting possibilities from your creativity, receiving a message, riding the winds of change. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, I like that. It gives it a little bit of a different, little bit more expansive view of the Eight of Wands, or of the numerology, which is a stability sort of thing. Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, Page of Wands, adorable. The Knight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. Now we're into the swords. Oh, this should be interesting. The One of Swords, the Ace, the Two of Swords. That's a cool picture. So you can do a lot with this. When you read, you could be the dragon, you could be the person, you could be the place. So when you read when you tell a storyboard, your perspective can change, but this gives you a lot of information, a lot of ways of telling a story. This could be a story about a dragon, The Three of Swords. She's mourning over the dead swan. The Four of Swords, very similar. Rest, meditation. The Five of Swords. The Six of Swords. The Seven of Swords. The Eight of Swords, a moose. There's this figure down here, looking vulnerable. Nine of Swords, very evocative, something you could do with that. And the Ten of Swords. This is nice because it's the 10, it's the conclusion of the suit. Usually the 10 of Swords is a very dramatic, very troubling picture with the Rider-Waite and all its iterations. This one shows, a dark figure, but a rainbow. So there is hope. The Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. Looks like he's listening to the little ogre. I don't know if these are ogres. I should read the book. Anyways, just that one section that I read, I really liked the interpretation. Whoops. Oh, this is not going to shuffle very well. The cards are, I don't know what the cards are. Cards are, they have a beautiful backing. These are the backings of the cards. So I think if you're a Rider-Waite fan, aficionado, this would be a little bit out of your comfort zone. However, if you're a Rider-Waite fan, but also a fan of other kinds of decks and want things to spurn your imagination or ignite your intuition, I think this would be a great deck because it does have references to the Rider-Waite, although they're subtle in most cases. Now what I'm going to do is just I'm going to just do a spread. Usually I do 5 cards, and what I'm going to do is do a story with the 5 cards. And it's going to be my storyboard for a new book, a new short story, and I'll show you how I do that. This is all about being imaginative with the cards. I mean, you can consider what the cards mean. But with what I'm doing is I'm looking at the cards, I'm looking at the pictures, I'm thinking of the meaning of some of the cards, but it's not going to be, I'm going to look at each card from different dimensions, from different points of view, and we'll see if we can come up with a story. The story is going to be the most important part of this, and these are not shuffled, so I'm going to just do one of these kind of things. And I'm going to I'm going to read them, put them in different directions, different spots. Okay. So do we have all those? Yes, we do. Okay. So now we're going to tell a story with these cards. I'm going to start at the beginning. Okay. Now this is a Major Arcana. I believe this was the Temperance Card, 14. So how I can look at this is I can look at the Temperance Card. I can think of a woman who's, sort of always weighing things, is sort of middle of the road, is not excessive in any way. Or I could look at the card and see what that tells me. Now this card doesn't tell me a lot. It's I know it's a watery card, so it's emotion, it's intuition. But how do I start a story? The way you start a story usually is with a character, a point of view and a character. So I'm going to go with this card with Marie. I'm going to call her Marie. And Marie is a very even-tempered, even-keeled woman. She always does the right thing. She never she never colors outside the lines. She stays on course. She's helpful. She's kind. She's considerate. She's everybody's best friend. So we're starting with Marie, and she is going to be our protagonist. Now, Marie does not sound heroic in any kind of way because she's so normal. But that's the beauty of Marie. She's normal and she's going to change. So we're starting with Marie. She's going through her day. I believe she's at her job. She's working. She works in shipping department in some organization that makes things. And so she works in the shipping department. And so she's at work. Marie's at work. Now, she's at work and something happens. Something dramatic happens at work. She's watching these 2 women. One is her boss's wife, and one is her boss's secretary. Now, Marie is in the shipping department, but she's also has to deal with these people in her job. Right now, they're confronting each other, and it's making Marie feel a little uncomfortable because she doesn't like confrontation. We don't know what's going on with these 2 women, but there's obviously some problems. Having felt uncomfortable with the situation that Marie saw at the office between the secretary and the wife, she goes to talk to the boss right after work. She says, "Can I talk to you? I'm a little uncomfortable about this, and I don't know what to do." And I've been put in a situation where both of these women were asking for her opinion, and she didn't know what to say, and she thought that he wasn't in the office at the time, that she should know that, there's problems here, that maybe he should deal with them. So she's approaching him with what happened and suggesting to him that maybe he needs to be aware of this so he can deal with it. So we have the 7 of coins, which is strife, change. So how does he respond? He doesn't respond well. He tells her to mind her own business, and who does she think she is getting involved? So she goes outside, she goes home that night, and she feels terrible. She just feels like she tried to do the right thing, and it backfired on her. And she almost lost her job because he gets angry at her. And so she's feeling very lost and alone. It's 3 of Cups. So that evening, she's in her apartment, and she calls her friends to tell them what happened and ask for advice. Now, I usually just do 5 cards, so I would stop there. What I would do is I would type this up as I'm reading. I would type it up, and I'd have, this isn't the end of the chapter because there isn't a cliffhanger. I'm thinking now that she's going for a walk in the park after work, and she's being confronted by 2 people, 2 unsavory people. And it's winter, so it's darker in the park. And I think that's how it ends. She'll end the chapter with these 2 people, I would say 2 young men hovering, or maybe not young men, maybe 2 old men. I don't know, it's 2 people. I don't get the sense they're women that are hovering at the park. And they're between her and her car, so she has to somehow go through this. And she's thinking how she can avoid these 2 guys to get back to her car and go home. That's a better chapter ending. So then we know that this woman's in some distress. She's got these 2 guys after her. We've established she's a wonderful person, a very nice person, and now she's got something to deal with. So that's my storyboard for this. And I would type everything down. I could even take a picture of it. And so you tell a story. And as I said, sometimes I use the card meaning. Sometimes I use the picture. And I think this could also be helpful. This could also be helpful in your tarot readings if you just let your I follow this gentleman on YouTube, Bob Burridge, and I also took a class of his, and he's an artist, and he says, you stay loose, don't get tight, stay loose. And I think with the tarot, that's what you have to do, kind of stay loose. I think that will lead to better. You got to loosen up. Don't be, so wedded to the 7 of the coins or, what the death means. You have to look at things from a different perspective, like a prism. You just look at it, look at it from one character's point of view, look at it from the scenery, look at it from the trees. I mean, there's all kinds of ways, the coloring. And I just look at this deck now, and I see, this is what stands out the most. This stands out second. This card is really, so this should be a dramatic scene with the boss. Make this really dramatic. Anyways, that's my my storyboarding showing with the John Bauer deck. Great deck. I'm going to use this for readings for myself and see how it works out, and refer to the book as well. Hope you like this. Have a great day.